kindergartners, I want to say too that kindergartners are natural social justice warriors. Like I mentioned before, I see this all the time on the playground. That's unfair. And this is why it's unfair. This is the reasons that it's unfair. And I think if we just build upon the mindset of a kindergartner, that it's fantastic. You can get them to do fabulous things in the social justice realm. Okay. So years ago when I started the work, I thought about how could I frame the work where I'm hitting all the core topics and domains, like how I can't just jump in and say, okay, we're going to do this and they have to have a foundation in which the work is built upon. So you can see also as an educator how really there's this transformation period that happens, kindergartners and, a lot of kids are, in the beginning, being 5 and 6, the mindset is a very self-centered mindset, right? Me, just me thinking, right? So we have to think about how can we start with, think about yourself, think about your identity, think about who you are, and then we're going to slowly move. So I read this article by Professor Bree Picower called Using Their Words, 6 Elements of Social Justice.
Whew. Fantastic. I'm so glad that Miss Tracy Allen is doing this most important work with our kindergartners, teaching them how to be young activists on the playground.
Yeah, she said something very important at the beginning, where she said kindergartners are natural social justice warriors. It's so unbelievable that she would even say something like that. Kindergartners are natural, whatever it is that's in front of them. Yep. Right? If you put dinosaurs in front of them, they're going to be natural paleontologists. It doesn't matter what you put in front of them. They're going to adapt to whatever it is you're teaching them. They're moldable. So these adults are all they're doing is taking advantage of children's innocence and turning them into whatever they want them to. Right? So if you say children are naturally like this, well, it's like, yeah. If you put that on them, then it's probably going to seem like they are naturally like this. Yeah,
it's an exploitation of what children want to be, and children do want to be good and fair. If you teach a child a rule and say, well, you can't take some of somebody else's snack at recess, and they see another kid do that, they're going to run up to the kid and say, hey, Miss Powers told me you're not allowed to do that, so don't steal a snack and give it back to him. And that's what kids do. They want to do the right thing. They want to be good. But if you use that as a translation to promote your own social justice agenda, to promote your own ideas of what it means to have an identity linked to race and gender, and then just project that onto little children, you are doing a massive disservice.
Again, I mean, this is what it boils down to. These ideas are so stupid that they have to give them to children to believe them because adults won't believe them because adults have a functioning brain that is developed. Children do not have a fully functioning way of thinking about the issues. So you give these things to children so that they grow up. I mean, Hitler literally said that you teach the children the ideas that he's pushing so that they grow up into the people that he wants them to be, right? I'm not saying these people are like Hitler when they're doing that, but it's the same type of system where you are teaching young children to do something because you know that they're young and impressionable. Yeah, it's a commonly known practice, the whole teach them young idea. Teach them young. And it's because once that indoctrination is set throughout childhood, it is really, really hard to break through that in young adulthood and into adulthood because it's what they've always known. So if you can be a teacher who gets these kids for 7 to 8 hours a day while mommy and daddy are away working and trying to salvage the values that their children should have, you get to indoctrinate them and you get to set that indoctrination so deep in those malleable minds that it will be very hard to break through later on in life. And that is why they choose to go after children so young. And again, it's just completely ridiculous and disingenuous. I mean, it's just like children with childhood trauma. When you're an adult and you have childhood trauma, like childhood trauma really affects you when you're an adult, even if it's something, not the most crazy, like that lives with you your entire life, the trauma that you have as a child. So if you have a child who is then told these different types of ideas and inoculated with them, those are going to stick with that person forever because they learned it as a kid. And then those decisions and the things that they learned as a kid, basically it's like a tree growing out and branching off for every single thing that they do in their life. Right. So it truly is sinister. Right? And especially, I mean, you're sending your kids to school, and instead of you getting your values from your parents, you're now getting it from the state, essentially. It's evil. It's truly evil.